In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Bookings as a way to manage returning to the workplace safely. Microsoft Bookings is available under most Office 365 subscriptions at no additional cost. It is a tool for managing appointments and scheduling appointments for your business's services. So, if your business provides a service, it's an app you can build, configure to expose to clients, and clients can go in and book time that's available, that your staff has available. Let's go into each of the components real quick. So services is obviously what your business offers. Staff are your employees, your staff members that actually have the expertise or that perform the service that the customers book. Customers are customers. It's pretty self-explanatory. The bookings page is just what you configure and publish, and then that's the app that the clients see. The calendar is where it's only internal facing. It's where the appointments end up. It's just a view of the schedule of what the clients have booked, and staff members can go in and see. They can also they'll get an email if you want. You can see they can look at their personal calendar. There's a way to set it up to all appointments here go on their personal calendar too. But this is just kind of an overview of all the appointments that have been booked. And the approach that we took here, because again, we at Timlin like to think outside the box. So this bookings app, instead of being an appointment and scheduling management tool, we're using as a way to return, to manage returning to the workplace safely. So the services here are instead of an actual service that your business provides, it's an office build, office first floor, for example. It could be an office building. It could be the entire building. It could be again, in this example, it's a floor. It could be the first floor, second floor, third floor. It could be a section of the floor. It could be a conference room, kind of however you want to configure it. But again, in this example, this is main office, first floor. So let's say it's our company headquarters, and we want to have this calendar be for only booking the first floor of this office, and we want the max capacity to be 3. Now that seems pretty low. I'm sure for your business need, it might be 10, 20, 30, who knows. But as the pandemic starts to settle and businesses start returning their workers to the workplace, we want to be able to use this app as a way to manage that and make sure that we're limiting. There's a finite number of bodies that can be on site that day. So let's point out a few things. This maximum number of attendees per event here, or per service, is what it really means. You would think this would solve the problem. You would think that, okay, I'm going to put 2 here, and then I won't be able to book more than 2 appointments. All right, so I'm going to show you how that doesn't work as expected. But I also want to point out that we have 4 staff members here. All right, let me save this. So we got 4 staff members, and I set the limit to 2. So the max capacity of this calendar, or these appointments that can be booked, is 2. All right. So let's save. It's saved. Let's publish it. All right. Let's go to Tuesday the 15th. All right. I'm going to book an appointment. Now I'm booking my second one now. Any name you put here, any email address you put here, it's going to get stored as a customer by default. It's just how it works. So essentially, it's going to be your employees, unless you also expose this to clients that you may have a meeting with on site that day, and we need to account for them as bodies that are going to be at the office. Then they can also use this calendar. And a cool feature here is I guess an option is to not require an Office 365 account or a Microsoft 365 account, so that you don't have to worry if your clients have an account or not, or a subscription or not. They can still use this. All right, so I booked one for the 15th. Let's book another one. And since max capacity was set to 2, I should not be able to book another one. But you see it's still available. So that got us wondering, okay, does that feature even work? And I mean, more or less, essentially, not to knock Microsoft by any means whatsoever. This is maybe, just a bug in the app. We can't get it to seem to behave how it's supposed to. So we don't look at that max capacity or the number of max attendees. We don't look at that and use that. This is essentially irrelevant. But what we figured out that the app is doing is taking the amount of staff members you have. So I have 4 staff members we mentioned before. Again, I'm going to book another one here, Tuesday the 15th, and I'll book one more. And then you'll see that it should be grayed out now. Great. So I have booked 4 appointments. So essentially 4 people could have gone in, and so now it says max capacity 3, but I guess in this example, I added another reservation in my testing, or another staff member in my testing. So I could book 4 appointments. So we realized what it's doing is actually letting you book an appointment for each staff member. So then what we're thinking now is to get this to work how we want, instead of staff members, let's make them reservations. So we'll call them slots. Let's call them, bookings, whatever you want. You're always going to have at least one real account or real name. This is obviously me, my account. You have to have at least one administrative staff member. That's basically the account. It needs to read someone's subscription to use the app in general. So that you're going to have at least one person here, and the rest can be dummy accounts. And they can actually be dummy accounts. When I say that, I mean that. You'll see reservation 1 at reservation1.com, reservation 2. These are email addresses. They don't really exist. They're not real email addresses. There's no inbox that these are going to. And the back end of bookings might look for this email address, but it won't find anything. So it won't. It actually will, let's go into the reservation here, notify staff. So inside the staff, when you put in the reservation, then you put in this email address. If I uncheck this, then it's not going to look for this email. And then you won't have to worry about an email coming in that's basically a notification that it couldn't find this actual email address. So just keep this unchecked and won't even notify the staff. All right, where were we? So I have 4 staff members, and that's why it lets me book 4 appointments. So if you want to limit the capacity in any given office space or floor or office building, just put a staff member or a reservation for each body you want to account for. Each person that wants to book an appointment, just create a staff member for them. Let's say you want only 10 people at a time, in a given day, create 10 reservations. Now, one important thing to point out is your reservations, which again is the app is seeing it as a staff member. The hours, of their availability, their business hours, should match. See, it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It should match the business information hours. So the hours, your business hours. So I see Monday through Friday here. You can get fancy with it if you want, and let's say I'm going to create an app that lets 10 people book, between 9 a.m. and noon, and then another 10 book, noon through the rest, or 1 p.m. the rest of the day or whatever. You can do that, but make sure your staff members' hours equal the business information hours. All right. That's how it kind of works. That's how it kind of syncs up that way and enables this to work how we want it to. All right. So to carry on with my example, I'm going to go into the staff members, and I'm going to add another staff member. It looks like I skipped 3 here. So I'm going to add reservation 3. If I can type. Reservation 3. And this field does actually the email field does actually need to be the syntax of an email. But again, it doesn't have to be an actual an email account. At reservation icon. Cool. All right, let's save this. Let's just uncheck the notify staff via email when a booking is assigned to them. Let's not do it because it's not going to find this. So what it would do is just actually email the administrator of the app and say, I can't find this email address. All right, so I have now 5 reservations. Essentially, I have 4, but it's going to account for that one actual account you have. So I have 5. I believe I booked. What day did I book here? Yes. Okay. So let me save and publish this again because I just added another one. And close this out and then open. I should be able to book Tuesday again, the 15th. And now it is available again because I added another staff member, which was really another reservation. So it's another spot that someone can go in and book. All right. So then once I add, let's just do test user. And oh man, I don't feel like typing an email address right now. So let's do tnt.com. Cool. Now that I have 5 bookings, this will be not available anymore. So there you go. So that's how it works. So that's really the meat of it. If you want to face this towards clients, and I might have mentioned this earlier, towards actual clients, you can keep this box unchecked, which it is here, to require a Microsoft 365 or Office 365 subscription. That means anyone will be able to use this. So you can account for clients that aren't in your Active Directory, that don't have an Office 365 account. They can go in and then book a slot for that day, and it will count them as a body for to be on site that day. All right. So to reiterate, your services, save and publish. Your services are going to be the office space, the floors, the sections, the entire buildings, if you want, that you're booking time in or you're booking slots in as you return back to the workplace. Your staff members are going to be the, again, I want to say slots. I kind of, it is the slots. So the services is the location, the physical place you're going back to. The staff is going to be the actual, the availability, the amount of slots that a user of the app can go in and book. So, again, if I'm an employee, I want to go in and actually book an appointment for that day. I am booking a reservation, or I'm booking a staff member. So the customers are going to be your employees, your internal employees. Again, it could be the clients if you want to expose this to your clients that might be on site for a meeting that day. And anyone who fills out the app gets added as a customer here by default. This can just keep piling up as long as you want, or it gets as long as it needs to get. The calendar is just internal facing. This is what any actual administrators or in the staff you'll see. You can add other actual staff members too. Just know that anyone you add here, if it's a legitimate account, has an Office 365 subscription, then they'll be able to use it and go in and see the calendar. You don't have to have an account to actually use the app, but to view the calendar and view the actual bookings app, then you'll need an account for it. But just know anyone you add as a staff member is also going to add to a reservation slot or add to a booking slot. There's a lot I can get into. I mean, there might have been some things I missed, but this should give you an idea of the key factors of it and how to really kind of tailor this towards your business needs. And as the global pandemic starts to settle and the work from home ban is sort of lifted and employees can start returning to the workforce, you're going to kind of want to manage that. You don't want everybody just showing up and avoid having social distancing kind of out the window. You want to be able to manage that and keep an eye on and limit the amount of people that can be on site at once. So hopefully this helps.